Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. In today's video we are going to be talking about another problem that a lot of people tend to face. Again, this problem is related with light. Now of late I have been seeing a lot of questions on Facebook, Instagram, wherein people are saying what should we do with a stretched succulent. Now of course everyone is going to give you the option of doing a stem cutting. Of course, that is one of the most important thing that you'll have to do, or I would say that is one of the solution that you have with a stretched succulent, because even if you are going to offer direct sunlight, this long stem that you see that has stretched is not going to go back into the soil. It is going to stay like that. If you're going to give more light, the new growth that is going to come out is going to be more compact. But this stage or this stem that you see is going to stay like that even if you are going to give a good amount of light. So in that case, cutting off the stem is the only option. So now let's say that you're not happy, because of course a succulent does not look perfect when it is stretched. Now I give a lot of credit to this succulent. She definitely is a fighter, because remember, this succulent was in that drum for a couple of weeks, but it still survived and I'm very happy about it. It was in that closed environment for a very long time, and hence there was a lot of stretching, but even now it is not recovered completely, even after almost let's say I think it's been almost a year, or probably more than a year that I'd taken it out from that drum wherein it was enclosed. And let's say that you do not like, I mean anyone does not like a succulent that looks like this, wherein it's completely leafless or do not have anything on the growth, and then there is one little tiny growth. And this is what I've seen with most of the people. They have their succulents that tend to look like this, and immediately people will advise you go ahead and chop it off. Now yes, that is one of the solution to it, because you'll have to chop it off, but there is another catch to it. Now let's say I go ahead and chop it off over here. All right, I have chopped it off over here. Now always remember, you have to let this cut callus for 2 to 3 days, and then either you can put it in the soil or you can let it air root. But I'm just giving you an example. Let's say that you have chopped it off, it's been 2 to 3 days, or let's say that you also have some aerial roots on it, and now you put it into the soil. So it looks perfect, and now you will be like, okay, I'm done, I'm so happy, the succulent looks all compact. But no, now what's going to happen is that if you are going to keep the succulent in the same position, this particular succulent will also turn out to be like this. Now the reason why the succulent stretched all this while up and it stopped stretching over here, because this was where it was getting that light. So it reached to this stage and then it stopped stretching, because this is the position where it started to get a good amount of light. And now if you have kept the cutting which you have recently cut, if you have put the cutting in that same place, the same thing will again happen. The succulent again will start to stretch, it will reach to this spot and it will stop. So you will again have this long stem. So the solution over here is not only to do a stem cutting, but also to offer a good amount of light. Otherwise you will end up with the same problem. The succulent is very low, it's not going to get light. It will start to stretch until it reaches probably to this position, and then it will stop and it will start getting compact because it's not getting light. So what are the options that you can do over here is, first of all, you'll have to change the spot, because probably this place the succulent is not getting a lot of light, that's why it's stretching. So whenever you do a cutting, once the cutting is done, do not keep it in the same place, move it to a different place where it gets a good amount of light. We have already spoken about indirect bright light, direct light. We have also spoken about how to measure light in lux. You have the light meter app as well. So anything that gives you a reading of 1500 lux or 2000 lux or above 2000 lux is where you'll have to place this succulent. Only then the succulent will grow well and it will be very compact. Otherwise it is going to end up like this, it will start to get stretched. Now I'm just giving you this as an example, because this particular succulent does tend to grow more vertically, but not like this. I mean, it should not be a blank stem like this. The blank stem was because of lack of light, the lower leaves happen to fall. Now unfortunately, because these are barren stems, they might not probably put out any new shoots unless I tend to cut. Like this portion I have cut, so probably I might get some new shoots or some new growth on this portion, but unlikely that there will be any growth on this. Unless I cut this portion up, then it will give me some more. So usually this is what happens. For some people will like it because it gives a very bonsai kind of a look. It tends to look, some people have a very different taste towards succulents. Some people might do it on purpose to give it a very bonsai look. But at the end of the day, it's your call, whichever you prefer. I do not like my succulents to look like this. I prefer them to be very compact and bushy growing. So now that I have done the cutting, I'm going to take it out because it's not calloused. So I'm going to leave it up like this. It will get calloused. Once it air roots, I will then put it back into the soil. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. So here the problem is not about doing the cutting, but the most important thing is offering a good amount of light. Once you have done the cutting, then change the position, because you do not want to keep the succulent in the same position. The succulent will again start to stretch to that level, and you will again end up having the stem like this. So you will end up keep cutting it. Every time you're going to cut, the succulent will look compact for some period of time, and then again it will start to stretch. So you will end up keep cutting the plant, and you won't be able to enjoy the plant in its best form. So ensure that you're giving a good amount of bright light, indirect light, filtered light, dappled light, or morning direct sunlight after acclimating it. So all of these things matter. Cutting of the stem is one of the solution, but the most important part is offering a good amount of light. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.